David and the main six drive through the mist in the Land Cruiser. It was such a long drive that David could barely even see. The vehicle's lights were mainly on, and in fact, David doesn't know where he exactly is going. David slowly gets out of the car. He closes the door and looks around. There's not much road. Where do we go? Should we go south, north, or east? Because I remember the map says that we have to go east. I'm pretty sure the map tells us that we're going east. No, we're going west. Don't be ridiculous, darling. Everyone knows that reading a map is very difficult. It's not that difficult, Rarity. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? And don't guard it! I accidentally tore it up. Oh no! Does that mean we get to continue our party? Pinky, we can't have parties now. We have to get going. And plus, who knows what else is out in this mist? Everyone remains quiet inside of the vehicle. Although the map was already torn to pieces, Pinky obviously blames it on Applejack. The other ponies inside of the vehicle groan. David facepalms. The inside of the vehicle starts to get out of nowhere, and in fact, the vehicle remains exactly still. The six ponies and Spike start to complain to one another, realizing who should be the one to be the navigator. No one dares to ask, and in fact, they begin to argue a lot. For the last time, we have to go south. No, the map says that it is supposed to be west. Everyone knows that west is the answer. No, it's not. We have to go left. Otherwise, you will drive straight into a dead end. No, I say we go north. North is the exact same way that we came from, unless it was another road. I'm not going anywhere with all of you in this car. Will all of you stop complaining that much? I can't hear myself think about. For the last time, we go south. Who else thinks that south is the best answer? The six ponies shout and glare at one each other as David was getting frustrated with the ponies arguing inside of the car. David was losing his confidence. He angrily slaps the horn, causing it to blare inside of the car. He just gives out an annoyed expression, expressing his own frustration with the ponies, trying to figure out which way to drive. And then he snaps. Can all of you just calm down? We are never gonna get this car moving if we don't try to figure out which way to go. Now stop arguing and think. I'm trying to focus here. The main six, Spike and David, glare at one another, trying to figure out who was the start of the conflict. But none of them really knew who really started it. In fact, they've been complaining to one each other the whole day. And in fact, without even asking a single question, they finally calmed down. Okay, that's enough. Let's not argue any further. We need to figure out how to get out of this mist. Yes, but David refuses to help get an answer. If Dave really knows where we're going, we couldn't have even gotten lost. Hey, let's not blame it on David. I blame Pinkie Pie for tearing up the map. What? That wasn't me. That was Applejack. What? Why me? Applejack, we know that your muscles have something to do with it. The six ponies glare at one another, refusing to help cooperate. David was not getting to know this right. He was so frustrated that he begins to complain himself. Okay, that's it. There's only one solution that we should probably do next, and that is drive straight. I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going. No thanks to you, girls. All you guys do is complain. With an annoyed sigh, David shifts the car into gear. The vehicle slowly rolls forward, quietly. No one even asks a single question. In fact, they just simply glare at one another, refusing to help cooperate on the directions. In fact, David was the only one who was being focused right now, since he was the one driving. And since that he was the one driving all the time, he begins to complain how many times they have gotten lost. Although David was annoyed with the ponies being with him all throughout this journey, he doesn't simply blame them for anything. He just simply gives them an annoyed look, and then he says, all you girls just do is complain, and do you even know what you guys are? I mean, how do I know where exactly we are going? You guys are just a bunch of ponies just dragging along into this mess. The six ponies and Spike glare directly at David, realizing that his point was right. Okay, seriously, man, you have gone too far. What's your deal? I think his only deal is trying to get us into figuring out which way to go. Guys, I think David's right. I think we should just follow on what he is saying. If David was right, which way do we go? Left or right? The map says we should turn right at this area, but I'm not sure if this was the right way. Just do it, Twilight! Fine, just relax, let's go. The main six, Spike and David, continuously drive the Land Cruiser through the mist. As they drive through the mist, they suddenly pull up to a stop, realizing that something large was standing right in front of them. At that very moment, they watch a giant creature known as the Behemoth slowly towering the small Land Cruiser from below. It doesn't seem to really notice them. In fact, it just gently walks across their path. The main six and David were so surprised. They watch in pure glee as the Behemoth towers over the Land Cruiser. Wow! It's huge! Completely astounding! No one has ever seen such a giant animal. At that size, it looks so big that it could barely even notice. It looks harmless, pretty much like how a gentle bunny would feel back at Equestria. Yeah, it does. But do you think it really knows that we're here? Of course not! Just look at it! It's so big and gentle! They smile as the giant creature waves back at them. They continuously drive forward. And in fact, David knows exactly where they are going. In fact, he doesn't even understand. He never seen such things before in his life. David is a bit confused as he is looking at ponies glancing right at him. They never seen a human drive ponies around in a car. David just leaves a confused and awkward glance. He doesn't talk very much, but he understands that ponies were just looking at him just for good looks. And then he spoke up. These ponies are strange. I don't know why I was in this area, but it's kind of strange to be saying the least. David and the others drive the Land Cruiser away from the mist. As the mist clears, it reveals a large castle. David was a bit confused and shocked. He never seen such a huge old structure in front of his life. David looks up at the large castle towering just in front of his path. He was a bit shocked and confused and didn't say a single word. He then said, "Whoa, this place is huge. What is this place?" The main six smile and they explain. "This, David, This is Canterlot Castle, home to the royal sisters, Nightmare Moon, Princess Luna, and of course, Princess Celestia. Yes, David, this is Canterlot Castle. This is the house where the princesses stay. It's beautiful, darling. You're gonna love living here. It's far more better than any other place in the world. Yeah, David, you're gonna be loving Ponyville by the time you move out here. Yeah, David, it's really beautiful. You're gonna love living here. Yeah, you get to experience carefree, no time in your life, and no one's gonna even judge you. Yeah, they're going to love seeing you. Although, they are gonna be surprised that you're not a pony. David was a bit confused by this. He just gives an awkward glance at castle guards directly looking at him. He then gives out an annoyed glare, almost like the guards were pretty much confused and not understanding why he was a human instead of a pony. He gives a small groan. Okay, what's with these guards looking at me? They feel like they never understand what a human is. It's like they don't even know what I am. I am a human and I am now looking at ponies. As they were busy talking, suddenly the three princesses suddenly show up. They obviously never seen what a human is. In fact, they were a bit shocked to see that it was really human. And in fact, they don't understand what a human is. And in fact, they were a bit surprised. They think it was actually a creature, but they quickly dropped their weapons down. For the goodness sake of the night, you ponies nearly give us a fright. And who is this? I don't remember seeing him before. Don't tell me that he is dangerous unless he's some sort of monster. Unless, who is this guy? He looks like a man. I never seen a man before in Equestria. He looks unearthly. Is he even alive or is he dead? If he was dead, then he could have said something. David becomes annoyed again, realizing that the three princesses never understood why he was here. In fact, he just said, "Okay, seriously, someone needs to explain to me what is going on because I do not understand why I was here." The six ponies and Spike explained to the princesses, and they said, "Princess Celestia, Nightmare Moon, Princess Luna, this is David Drayton. He is the one who brought us back here." "Indeed, darlings, he is quite the magnificent fellow if I do say so himself." Yeah, David Drayton's a human, and we basically found him. More like he found us, to be precise. Yeah, that is true. You three should have seen him. He was such a funny guy. I mean, can you believe how annoying he can be all the time? David leans out and gives a small but awkward face. He basically just gives out a small grin, just to say the least. He then spoke up. It's nothing really. I was just doing what I always do. Helping others is exactly what neighbors do, right? I don't know what I'm doing really. Well, I'm surprised. I'm glad that he managed to bring you back all home. Yes, that's very kind of Mr. David to actually brought you all back here. I thought you all could have been lost. Now, it's pretty much secure that David was the one who brought them home.